Hey guys, it's Alexander Dahl with Manifest Brutality again. I've got a little bit to talk about this week. I kind of want to talk about, how we look at talent and what quantifies talent. I apologize for the audio in this episode. I recently did a motherboard upgrade in my recording computer, and I'm using some orange cables that came back from my cabin to get stuff out of there because of the damage in there. And for whatever reason, the microphone does not have a pad on it. The gain is completely maxed out. The level coming out of the microphone is completely maxed out. And then the mixer itself is completely maxed out. And I'm getting barely any audio signal out of it. So I'm probably going to have to do a couple different things. In these instances, I like to go a little bit overboard, and I'll probably just do a complete Windows reinstall, which means I'll inevitably have to reinstall everything on the computer. But in general practice, whenever I do anything on a computer, I always lean on the side of whenever there's a hardware change, you should always do a fresh Windows install, which is kind of the pain in the ass, but I do a lot of backups on all my audio, and so I might have to, do another one, put it all in the external drive, wipe everything, do a fresh Windows install. Before I do that, though, I'll probably try to swap out to my other cable I was using and see if I can actually get some regular level of audio I was getting out of it. Like, this is ridiculous, and I don't understand. The only thing that's changed in the entire link is this cord and that motherboard. So I'm hoping it's not the motherboard, which is probably not, which if it is, like I said, that's just a Windows install, which I should do anyway because it's a hardware change. And then there's the cord, which makes sense because this past weekend when I was tracking vocals, I was using these cords and I was finding it very difficult to get a good level of audio out of it. And that could be why. Maybe since, it's been in an environment where it's very humid for the past several years, the cords are just corroded and not as good as they should be, which happens. It's unfortunate, but again, I apologize for the audio in this video because it's not where I would like it to be. So that being said, in regards to the idea of talent and how we quantify talent, the reason I wanted to kind of bring this up is because it kind of ties into one of the earlier videos that I made about saturation and genres in the market, where the reason that I feel these things are correlative and that they actually touch base on the same emotional ground is because talent can come in many different ways. It comes in across the artist spectrum, whether it be performance, instrumentation, writing, and then you have your gambit of film and acting. For the sake of this video, we're obviously just going to focus on the musicality portion of it. So when talent is at work and creation is being made, obviously there's an idea for a type of genre that you're probably going to go for. I've mentioned before with the Manifest Brutality project, I don't like to stick to a specific type of genre, but I do like to stick to a specific type of content, for lack of a better word. And that being, I've always really liked demo tracks, like the song that was the song before it got into a major studio, like multi-million-dollar recorded and then put onto a mainstream album. There's some really good examples out there. Back when A Perfect Circle was first coming out, there was a few demo tracks that Billy Howardell put out of his ideas for the songs that were really good, and I ended up liking those a lot better than some of the tracks that actually made it onto the album of the same song. So with Manifest Brutality, and the way that I kind of focus on that and the way that I put that in there is I don't always try to have everything be technically correct or completely exactly mixed or mastered the way that it should be. In a lot of ways, I try to specifically seek out that feeling of it being a demo track because I like that. I like the kind of just raw, communicative nature of it rather than having something that is almost sterile in the mainstream marketplace. And the reason that I feel that that kind of bites into the talent realm is because talent can come with your home musicians. It can come into your form of like session musicians that don't necessarily play out, but they're super good at their instrument and at music theory, and so they can step into a studio and just nail out a part perhaps better than what somebody in the band could actually do. So you have those. Then you have like your performing talent, which that's the majority of what is out there on any live scene, whether it be at your local level or your national level. That performing talent is there, and then that's where it kind of breaks up into genre, because you're going to have your performing talent that does write, produce, and record their own music, and you're going to have your performing talent that is just another wheel in the machine. And I shouldn't really phrase it like that, because that music is just as valid as what any of us in our home studios are creating, and vice versa. And you should never look at what you're recording in your home studio as having to compete with anything else. What you're creating should mean something to you, and that's why it matters. That's why you should do it, and you should never stop doing it. And I always kind of lean on the vein of never being satisfied, and I don't think you should. I think you should constantly get better, constantly learn, constantly grow. And I do that for myself. I constantly try to push myself into learning new things about recording and playing music. I've been playing drums for 15 years, and just a couple years ago I picked up a guitar, and I've tried to learn to play guitar half a dozen times throughout my life. And the past couple years I've actually been able to find a pattern that sticks with me, and I like doing it, and it just has worked out for me. And we should all do those things. And that's kind of why I wanted to create this project for everybody to get involved with, is it gives us all another avenue to collaborate and create in, to have another source of experience in creating. And that matters to me, because I want everybody to feel like their creation matters. And it should, because what people create is important, regardless of the quality of it, regardless of what other people say about it. If it's something that means something to you, then that's what we're doing it for. To go back to the different levels of the performing talent for your national acts, and the way that branches off into genres, the people mainstream music industry that is constantly just lab cooking their music and putting it out there and making a lot of money doing it, because those are the companies that have the ability to kind of force their artists into the face of the consumer. And they have the ability to do that. It's what they're doing. There's nothing we can do about it other than sit and create music by and for ourselves. So that's kind of the way that I wanted to kind of talk about talent in this discussion forum. I don't want to naysay. I don't want to say who does and does not have talent, because I don't believe in that. What I do want for this discussion is to discuss how we recognize and how we appreciate talent, and where we find talent, and then how that talent resonates back into us. So that's my discussion topic for this week. So let's focus on that, and then comment and like the video, and that's all I have for this week. I hope you all have a good week, and I'll talk to you later.